Welcome back to Dominate Earth 101. Now today we're going to be talking about General Smedley Butler's War is a Racket. This is just part one of learning about your own human texts. As we stated in our introductory video, this entire course is geared towards getting you humans to know how to dominate your own people using your own methods. You obviously cannot comprehend our alien methods of control, so we're going to continue to come down to your level. Now, General Smedley Butler was a general during World War I, and he also spent the preceding years petitioning Congress and petitioning lobbyists to spread money around to increase the power of the military-industrial complex, seemingly in an attempt to get the people on board for more wars and more war profiteering. Now, General Butler's book, War is a Racket, is a warning about the mounting pressures of World War II. All of the countries were denying that they had any interest in war at all while they trained millions of troops. Oh, I'm so surprised that the populace failed to recognize the signs. Now, Mussolini, the ruler of Italy at the time, he said something quite interesting in the years leading up to World War II. He said, "War alone brings up to its highest tension all human energy and puts the stamp of nobility upon the people who have the courage to meet it." I love this sentiment. It is saying that the highest human form is that of war and warriors, so that we all may profit off of our wars. The U.S., before World War I, bankrolled Japan in the war against Russia. Please excuse my assistant. She came down to bring me a nice little beverage. She knows how I like your earth spirits. As I was saying, the U.S. did bankroll Japan in the war against Russia of 1904, before World War I, and that was the start of our military-industrial complex trying to gain influence around the world, as opposed to the opinions of the founding fathers of America. Now, the U.S. has considerable financial interests in many places around the world, even back then, especially in the Philippines. How interesting. Now, getting down to the point of General Butler's entire point, that was the unintelligent. Let me start over. General Butler wanted to point out all of the people in the first part of his book who, during World War I, profited off of all of your blood, sweat, and tears, but especially blood, yes. Now, if you want to profit from war, I suggest that you buy interests in the following categories. Now, munitions, obviously. Leather, that's a good one, because boots, the military buys millions of units more than they even use, and they rot away in storage. But the check still cashes. Chemicals, food, garments. Mosquito netting is an interesting one. During World War I, the U.S. bought tons and tons of mosquito netting that didn't ever make it to France. It just sat around in a warehouse. How hilarious. And the check also there was cashed. Now, the coal industry, the shipbuilders, the manufacturers, the meat packers, speculators especially, airplane manufacturers, engine manufacturers, and most of all, above anyone else's profits, were the private bankers. Now, the private bankers really got away with it because they hid their profits. Their profits were immense and secret, and the Senate could not even get them to divulge where their profits came from. I'm certain they were playing both sides. Such intelligent humans. Now, a big part of the bankers' publicly held monies came from Liberty bonds in World War One. A bank sold the Liberty bonds at $100 apiece, and then they depressed the value slowly until the public panicked and sold them back to the banks at $70 to $85 apiece. Then they pushed the value back up to $100 and sold them back to the government and pocketed the profits. Oh, the Senate at one point did discuss at the time limiting war profits, but they never set a limit on the body counts that earned those war profits. The money comes from American taxes, so all of the tiny people of America are the ones funding all of these war profiteers. If you'd like to get into the racket, as I've said, invest in these industries, create these industries, and use the American taxpayers' money through the manipulation of the government to increase your empire and increase your domination of Earth. Until next time, farewell, humans.